So okay, I know you brought along many wonderful tools.
Yes, I did.
Can you tell us?
Sure. Yesterday, I proceeded to show the class some of the tools, and again to basically start off with a beginner's level, because maybe the bottom isn't really comfortable. But if, for example, you're interested in anal plane, where quite often you start with maybe using the finger. Well, let's take that finger concept a bit further. Let's use something like this, where it's like a finger, right? It's like
Right.
in fact, it's the length of the finger here, these bulbs. But instead of just one hand, one finger, one digit, now you have an enhanced form of a finger. You have 3 bumps, and the idea is to have these bumps right on the underside of what they call the prostate gland. For the male now, that is.
So tell people where exactly is the
The
prostate?
prostate gland is, if you are, let's say, your legs are facing upwards, when someone uses a finger to initially go in this way, the first major organ that they feel, besides of course the anal area, sort of a walnut size or maybe a strawberry size organ or gland called the prostate gland. The finger, again, if the person is facing upwards, when you penetrate with the finger, one of the first glands you feel is the prostate gland. And again, I was saying that this is actually needed when you're ejaculating, because it has to create the fluids, and then the muscles around it will pump the fluid. Something to that effect. And when someone ejaculates, when they have an orgasm, that walnut-sized prostate gland grows in firmness and in size too. It's like a little a ball at that point. It gets very hard when you ejaculate. And the idea is to enhance that sensation. So what we do here is have this thing run on the underside of that prostate when you insert it very slowly. Insert this very slowly.
Right.
The idea is to enhance that sensation, not to cause any pain. And because when it first goes in, this is chrome. It's going to be frigid cold when it goes in there. So you want to go in very slowly first.
Right.
And eventually, since it's chrome, steel absorbs temperature. So it absorbs higher temperature. So within about 3 minutes or so, this will start to heat up from the person's own body temperature.
Wow.
And it actually radiates the temperature back. So it feels very nice and warm inside. Now, of course, you do need to put lubrication on it to make sure it goes in easily, right? But the idea, once it's in, now you can slowly glide it in and out, and maybe even turn it ever so slightly to tickle that prostate gland.
I see.
So it's a really interesting sensation. This is a great beginner's tool. So you're going from the finger now to something a little bit more fun.
I see.
Okay,
so which direction?
Meaning you have a choice. You can go in this way. Now this is the front, right?
Right.
Goes in this way,
Uh-huh.
or you can go in this way, either way.
Right.
But the point is to bring in very slowly. The idea is to have these bumps
I see.
right on the underside of the prostate gland to try to excite it. And sometimes the person may get very excited and maybe even ejaculate because it's quite a sensation. So that's why go slowly.
So how about a duration?
Yeah. How long?
Yes.
This is the communication part I emphasize between the top and the bottom. If the top is really good, they can actually prolong this to run perhaps maybe an hour or more of stimulation. I have to admit, I love playing all kinds of interesting gadgets besides this. And sometimes I've been known to go for 4 to 6 hours. And I'm not exaggerating. And, so now, of course, you want to be a bit more advanced.
Your boyfriend, I'm sure, is very patient.
Yes. So now, once you want to get more advanced, you can now try the other end of this. This end is a bit, I would say it's maybe up to 1 inch bulb size, and try inserting from this end. And again, same thing. Once it goes in there, you can now turn it slightly around and start tickling the prostate. And again, it goes beyond just the finger now. You're doing a lot more, and it gets to be very exciting. And by the way, this is not just for gay couples to play with. Definitely, even straight heterosexual couples will enjoy this. Particularly the woman may be administering it to the man. Because even straight men, I believe, they of course love having a prostate played with as well. And just because a straight man wants to have the prostate played with does not mean they're gay at all. So this is actually great for both.
So now that is so.
Yeah.
This looks really wonderful.
Yeah.
But a human penis doesn't look anything like this. this.
Well, that's true. Now the thing is, that's why this is for you can prolong the play. Because when you're fucking in general, you can't have it last 4 hours. I mean, not even Viagra will keep you up really 4 to 6 hours. I mean, there are limits. But this holds its shape. And it doesn't tire the top in a traditional vanilla sex situation. Now, of course, you are asking the top to do something because now what kind of enjoyment does the top get out of this? That's another thing. Now, perhaps the top can also be fondling himself while he's administering this. But in an SMM relationship, the top also gets another type of sexual high, and that is the feeling that the bottom is getting a kick out of this. Right. And of course, the ultimate achievement is maybe orgasm, and then the top did this. Yeah, the top did this to the bottom, and maybe the top achieving the same. And of course, we can replace this with normal fucking as well, to make sure that the top has a chance to have the fun as well.
I see. Well, I'm sure there's some couple that actually flexible. They take turns.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. It's like you're having too much fun. My turn. I understand that.
So okay, so let's move on to other piece of equipment.
Okay, now like we did in the class yesterday, we started talking about more advanced tools you can play with. Now there are people, for example, who like playing with butt plugs. Now again, not just gay men, but also straight men. Again, loving to have their prostate massaged. Now we usually have smaller butt plugs to start with, but here I had very little time for the presentation yesterday, so I went to the more advanced tools. There's a company that sells these things, and they sell them of various sizes. And I happen to be the larger one that I was displaying in the class, just for shock value. And once again, it's entirely made of chrome, so it's very cold. You can feel that. Very cold when you put it in. But once again, the temperature, your body temperature heats it up within 3 to 5 minutes, and then it radiates that heat back. So it's an incredibly sexy tool. And this one will stay in there. Unlike the other one that may not stay in place, this will stay in there. It's a butt plug.
I see. So now, I think you can use this for something else. This looks like a lemon squeezer.
That's what someone said yesterday, lemon squeezer. Well, in case you run out of lemon squeezer, you don't have one handy, yes, you can use that.
Make sure you wash it first.
Yeah, that's right. You can use this for that purpose. Yeah, it's like. But because of its tapered end, once it goes into the anal cavity, it will stay there in place. And you got a convenient little handle here, so it won't entirely get lost up there. Okay, so hold it in place.
That's important.
Right, yeah, you don't lose the entire contraption there. And what's also exciting is, once it goes in there, the top can start pulling it out a little bit. Now, a nice little big ball here to play with the other ball, and jiggle it back and forth, like you see here. Or maybe slowly spin it around and spin it back up again. What you'll find about this is because of its shape, once it goes in this way, and again, the person is facing upwards. If they're good with their muscles, they will eventually manage to automatically have it turn by itself. The bottom's muscles can actually spin it around inside to this position. And once again, as the top, you can raise it again, and that, once again, gives that nice little pleasurable pressure to the prostate gland, and then once again, the bottom will automatically spin it down again. It's very interesting, and so it makes for a few more hours of interesting play.
Wow.